Before we get into proclamations, just wanted to open up a conversation amongst commissioners about those comments that we always open our meetings with, about how we kind of run general public comment and public comment for our agenda items, and what is appropriate for public comment. I was not here at last week's meeting due to being unwell. We did have a disruption to that meeting because it became, from watching the meeting after the fact, it became difficult to hear conversation amongst commissioners or move forward with the business meeting due to some comments from the gallery after public comment had been closed. And I've also witnessed some very directed comments that I would consider vulgar, with explicit language and swearing directed at both commissioners and officers in the room. And I do not believe that that's an appropriate use of public comment time in our meetings. So I just want to be explicit about that. That's my position. And we do reserve the right to mute somebody and remove somebody from the room if they cannot keep those comments appropriate and targeted to the commission about county business without the use of vulgar language and without without the use of vulgar language is a piece of it for me. So I'm interested in hearing what other commissioners have to say.
So it's very important to me that we preserve the ability of the public to provide public comment, and that they have the ability to share ideas with us, thoughts with us about county matters. I do think it's a reasonable expectation that they refrain from profanity during that time, especially any profanity directed at people. And I would be comfortable saying that if we have members of the public who cannot keep their comments just to public comment, and if they feel like they must have an outburst that is not involved with public comment, that we would ask those people to leave.
This is Commissioner Portillo. Commissioner Reed and Commissioner Kelly, I really appreciate you opening up this conversation. And I just want to echo what Commissioner Kelly said. I think that being disruptive isn't helpful to our meetings, and directing profanity at individuals, particularly when you're directing profanity at public servants who are here to be supportive of the work that we're doing. That is a reasonable line for us to say it's time for someone to exit the meeting. I also fully agree with Commissioner Kelly. I want to make sure that we can keep public comment open. When we have rules around public comment, we do that because it's an equalizing principle. The idea is that if everyone has a set amount of time, then everyone has a chance to address the commission, and we can do it in a way that is clear and transparent, and everyone gets a chance to participate. So when we have outbursts outside of public comment, for general public comment or a particular agenda item, it makes it harder for us to hear from everyone and do the people's work. So I think that those are two kind of bright lines for me: profanity particularly addressed at our public servants, and outbursts outside of general public comment or specific public comment for an agenda item that disrupt our meeting.
So just to be clear, I want to make sure that those members of the public come to our meeting. We will ask people to leave if they direct profanity at any person here, any public servant here during that time, and if there are outbursts outside of our public comment period. And if they refuse to leave, we will ask our sheriff's deputies to step in and escort them out of the meeting. I just want to make sure we're all clear and in agreement with how we're going to move forward.
Yeah, I appreciate that summary, Commissioner Kelly, and I do agree with that. I think that that's the explicit instruction. I would like to add, or I guess explore, if in a profanity as well as name calling, directed name calling at individuals in the room, be it commissioners, staff, or court security deputies that are here. is not appropriate and is a bright line for me as well. So, any further comments? Okay, thank you. With that, the first thing on our agenda item is.
My name is Dr. Justin Spees. I want to start off by saying I am offended at your opening remarks. I don't know if you see my hat here, but I was in the United States Navy, and it is in my culture to cuss. It is my identity. You ever heard that saying, cuss like a sailor? I am offended that you're crapping on my identity as a sailor. Sailors' lives matter. And I'll say whatever I want to say at any time that I want to say it. You had a problem with the way he pronounced her name when she's lying about what she's doing up here. And the issue is you didn't say her name right. Are you kidding me? Why are you wearing your mask, man? Cowards, men wearing masks. I don't understand it at all, man. You're not embarrassed at all by that?
Justin, direct your comments at the county commission only.
You don't look embarrassing at all with that thing on, by the way. Stay strong, man. Stay strong. So this is my weekly reminder to you clowns, what you did to this community, the children that you abused, what you did to my life. You know, it's interesting. When you don't have anything, when everything's been taken from you, you sit around a lot thinking about how I'm going to get payback. And that's what I've been thinking about, payback. Now, I know you weakling lefties are thinking, of course, it's violence that I'm talking about. That's because you underestimate us in the words of George W. Bush. You underestimate us. The only thing we're capable of is violence, huh? There's nothing else that I could do to get back at you, is there? Just violence, right? Keep underestimating me. I'm patient and I'm persistent and I'm pissed off at your guys' bullshit.